Welcome to Tuesdays on the Trail, where we explore memorable hikes and walking trails around the world. Today we're doing something a little different. Instead of a single trail, we're taking a walk down Broadway, the main street of Skagway, Alaska, and exploring the Skagway unit of Klondike Gold Rush National Historical Park. If you want to understand the Klondike Gold Rush, the best place to start is standing right here on Broadway in Skagway, Alaska. For 2 years, in 1897 and 1898, this was one of the busiest streets in North America. Tens of thousands of fortune seekers poured through here on their way to the Yukon gold fields, and almost every service, scheme, and shortcut imaginable was waiting for them when they arrived. Even today, when the cruise ships dock and passengers filled the sidewalks, you get a faint echo of what this must have felt like. The noise, the motion, the sense that something enormous is happening. Klondike Gold Rush National Historical Park preserves the heart of that story. Right here in the historic buildings, the streetscape, and the trail to the passes above town. Today we're walking this historic street. Our first stop is the National Park Visitor Center, housed in the old White Pass and Yukon Route Railroad Depot, built in 1898, the same year the rush was at its peak. The White Pass and Yukon Route was an engineering marvel. 110 miles of narrow gauge railroad, blasted and carved through some of the most rugged terrain in North America, completed in just 26 months. The railroad essentially solved the stampeders' biggest problem. How do you move a ton of goods, the Canadian government's requirement for each prospector to carry a full year's supply, from the coast to the gold fields? Before the railroad, the answer was on your back, up the Chilkoot Pass. The railroad changed that completely. Just across Broadway from the Visitor Center, in the plaza next to the Park Bookstore and the Martin Itjen House, you'll find one of the most evocative pieces of public art in any national park unit. The ton of goods sculpture represents the requirement that Canadian authorities placed on every prospector entering the Yukon. You had to carry at least 2,000 pounds of supplies, a literal ton of goods. Standing next to it, the weight of that requirement becomes real in a way that no photograph can capture. That was the entry price for a shot at gold, and most of the men who paid it came back with nothing. Around the corner, a side street brings you to one of the most notorious addresses in Gold Rush history, Jeff Smith's Parlor. Jefferson Randolph Smith, Soapy Smith as everyone called him, was the boss of Skagway from roughly 1897 until the summer of 1898. He ran a criminal empire disguised as a legitimate business operation. Fake telegraph office, rigged card games, shell games in the street, outright robbery when the opportunity presented itself. What made Soapy Smith effective wasn't just muscle, it was charm. He threw parties. He hosted visiting dignitaries. He cultivated a public image as a frontier businessman while systematically separating stampeders from their money before they even reached the passes. It ended on July 8, 1898. Soapy confronted Frank Reed, a town engineer who had organized a Citizens Vigilance Committee on Juneau Wharf. Both men shot each other. Soapy died within minutes. Reed died 12 days later. His grave in the Gold Rush Cemetery north of town reads, "He gave his life for the honor of Skagway." The parlor itself is one of the original Gold Rush structures. Step inside if it's open. The MPS have preserved it remarkably well. Continue up Broadway to the Mascot Saloon, and when you walk through that door, take a moment before you do anything else. Look at the bar, the layout, the light coming through the windows. This is what a Skagway saloon looked like in 1898. The MPS has restored the Mascot to its original appearance, complete with the back bar, the gambling area, and the fixtures that would have been here during the rush. There were reportedly over 80 saloons operating in Skagway at the height of the boom. The Mascot is one of the survivors. Saloons in a gold rush town weren't just about drinking. They were information exchanges, banking establishments of a kind, places where you could learn which routes were passable, which outfitters were honest, and which deals were too good to be true. In a town without reliable communications, the saloon was where you found out what was actually happening. Our final stop is at the far end of the historic district, the Moore Cabin and Homestead at 5th Avenue. It's the oldest structure in Skagway and was here before the gold rush, before the town, before almost everything you've walked through today. Captain William Moore built this cabin in 1887, a full decade before the Stampede. He was a veteran packer and entrepreneur who had studied the passes above Skagway and predicted, correctly, that if the gold was ever found in the interior, this valley would be the gateway. He staked a 160-acre homestead and waited. When the rush came in 1897, Moore was ready, and then the Stampede simply overran him. Within weeks, thousands of people had arrived and begun building a town on his land without his permission. He spent years in legal battles to recover what was taken. He did eventually receive compensation, but never full restitution. The cabin has been restored by the MPS and stands as the oldest surviving structure in Skagway. Standing next to it, knowing it predates everything around it by a decade, gives you a different perspective on the whole story you've just walked through. Broadway is about a third of a mile from the depot to the Moore cabin. In that distance, you've covered a story that changed the map of North America. The infrastructure, the crime, the commerce, and the quiet homestead that was there before all of it. If you enjoyed this hike, please like the video and subscribe to the channel for more trail stories and park adventures. You can explore more trails, videos, and travel stories at TezelsOnTheRoad.com. Thanks for joining us. Now let's get back on the trail.